Hi, it's Creative Katie, Karen Burchill. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. You can follow me on all my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, and Pinterest. Search for Creative Katie, you'll find me. If you wish to support my channel, you can shop through my Amazon influencer links or make a direct donation through my PayPal link. Both links can be found in the description box below. If you're not a subscriber, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, click on the bell and select the option to be notified as soon as I upload new videos. Today we have the quote journal going on the go, and I'm going to show you at least 10 ways that you can prep for your art journaling sessions while on the go. Want to art journal but not having enough time? Then the Quick Fire Quote Journal series along with the Build Your Stash series are the two series that you should watch to help yourself set up a situation where you can get into your art studio and successfully and easily and quickly finish an art journal page. In this one, I'm going to show you how to take your possibility packet and your Quick Fire Quote Journal or art journal and take it on the go. Maximize and use those times in your day when you're waiting, when you're sitting, that you can do some little tasks that are going to streamline the art journal process. Keep watching. Hi everybody. What you see here is my Quick Fire Quote Journal that has some blank pages, colored pages, as well as blank ones. And my possibility packet that I showed in just a recent video where I pulled together some of the possibilities for my next theme. So if you want to check out that video, that would be very helpful. Now, in the vein of streamlining the art journal process, when you actually sit down and create the page, this will help, but there are still things that you can do with what's in this package that will further streamline and speed along the art journal process. Remember, we want to be able to get one of these art journal pages done in around 15 minutes. We don't want to spend a lot of time because that's what you're telling me. You're telling me that you don't have an unending amount of time. So what I thought of is now to go on the move. We're busy. We're picking up kids from school. We're sitting at appointments. And there is a little bit of downtime in our day where we could be doing some of these tasks once they're in this condition. So I'm going to go over some of the things that you can do while waiting in the car for your child to get out of school, or music lessons while sitting in the doctor's office. And all you're going to need is your possibilities package, your Quick Fire Quote Journal, or your art journal pages. And if it's disc bound, I can even take out individual pages if this is too bulky. I want some Post-it notes, and I'm just going to put that actually right in the front. I'm also going to put some masking tape or painter's tape, and I'm just going to stick that to the cover. And this is just so that I have everything I need with me. And I just want to be able to pull these off, but I want it all with me. I could put it on the plastic as well, if that's the case. So we have painter's tape, we have our Quick Fire journal, and I can, take out some of the pages if I so choose. I have my possibility package, which has my quote for the theme, quotes or sentiments. It has some magazine pictures. There's even a couple stencils in here. Just various embellishments that I've pulled together in the
build your possibility packet video. So while you are waiting, what can you do? So while you're waiting for your child, while you're at the doctor's office, while you're watching TV, there are moments in your day. Look at your schedule and see, do you have 5 minutes here? Do you have 10 minutes here? What do you have? And now we can use that. You're also going to need a pair of scissors in here. So right off the bat, then one of the first things that you can do is read over the quotes that you have, spend time thinking about them, also just cutting them. Now, a lot of the time I cut these more apart. Now, if that's the way you want to use them, and if you know that, what you can do is put them in these little Ziplocs. So throw some of that in your possibilities package as well. So I'm just going to cut these apart. And really, I'm going to cut a lot of this excess off because there is excess on here. Now, cutting it to this size will help me because when I want to experiment with a page, an audition, I have it more close to the size of what I want. So when you are traveling and you are going to cut, whether you're in the doctor's office or dental office or waiting at the hairdresser's, you can get some of this done. Take a baggie so you can throw your trash in it, and then you can take that home and get rid of it. You know, another Ziploc bag for anything that is small. So now these are quite small. We've gotten rid of a lot of it. And as I'm cutting through them, I'm also thinking about what I could be doing or what might match with it. Now, I know some of the things that are, I can remember some of the things that are in the possibility package. So I can say, oh, this one, I'm going to grab my Post-it note and I'm going to put here, I have this one, push, persist until something happens. There was the one, the pic with the girl holding up the rock. So I might put it on that one. I also have a couple here that have talk about stumbling blocks and stepping stones. So I might put that too. That picture I might have to decide, right? So I'm just going to pick with girl and rock. And I'm just doing that. As ideas come to you, then when you have an idea, it's pretty much complete. You've got the picture, you've got the quote, you've got the colored background page. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together. So I'm just going to put these into here. So one, you can do. Two, you can also be cutting out either fussy cutting to the nth degree or just doing rough cutting with the magazine pictures that you have as well. So some of these are already done because I've done that process with them. I may choose to do more depending on the orientation of the page. And also what I'm going to do now, I've got the time one. Oh, and I remember there was a quote that goes with the clock. Life offers you a second chance. It's called, oh, never give up. Great things take time. Little mini Post-its. I think I'm going to use those. Watch or clock pick. And this one is Life Offers You a Second Chance. It's called Tomorrow. I'm also going to put here sunset, because that's the promise of tomorrow, or a sunrise. So you can see how the ideas are somewhat coming together. So I might, you know, while I'm sitting, waiting, downtime in front of the TV, I might take, okay, we have a lock and key here. Now I might be thinking, do I have a stamp that goes with this? I might put a post-it note on there. I don't think I have a stamp that has a key on it. Interestingly enough, there were keys on the back of this. Yeah, that's funny. Of course, I've cut them all up, so. And there's the rock, the girl. Definitely. So we have that in here. As I'm going through, I might say, you know, cute picture, but, you know, after going through my quotes, there may not be anything that goes with that. So I can just sit there and go through these again. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, that one might work. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. So I'm just kind of looking to match things, and I can do this at the doctor's office. I can be going through, even just reading the quotes. And I can do the fussy cutting. Now I often prefer doing fussy cutting using the X-Acto knife. But when you have time and you want to be mobile in front of the TV or in the car, this is a great way of doing it. And I might come back later and use the X-Acto knife to get a little bit closer. This can go into the trash. Gotta use the Energizer Bunny, right? Keeps going and going and going. I might be dating myself with the knowledge of that, but now as I'm fussy cutting, I'm only really going to fussy cut those things that I know for sure might fit. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, you know, well, would it fit? You know, I can edit. I can also edit some of these pictures out of the possibility bin, the possibility packet. And I think this one is just, it's a cute picture and all, but, you know, doesn't leave room. So that one's going to go, I'm going to take that one out. So in keeping with, working, taking the art journal prep on the go, I'm just cutting pictures and I'm editing. I'm looking at, if it's important, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. I'm thinking that works. So here's a case where I think what I'm going to do here, because I'm thinking these work really well together. I'm going to get a little bit of that painter's tape. And tack these together like that. Then it's just one step closer to the end. This one, I'm thinking goes, I can and I will, maybe. I'm thinking this one I'm going to edit out. I'm thinking this one right here works really well with some quit due to slow progress, never realizing that slow progress is progress. The turtles. So I'm going to just put a note. Turtle. So cutting the excess off of the pictures will also help you be able to set up the orientation to see if it works. So I'm thinking, nope. The flowers are general ones. That one's a no. The flowers might go with anything, as might the hearts. I just wanted to try this. That would be just a nice decorative look. So we're going to keep that. Hummingbird, a sign of them. Nope. So edit. Now this I'm thinking I'm going to just put as just a background, and then I can put a saying on it. So I just love the colors of this, so I'm just going to use that. Use as whole background. I think this hummingbird's a little too big, but this one goes really well. The owl I don't think fits this. I don't want more than one hummingbird. It's kind of hanging on, right? But is it too big? So, I'm eliminating pictures. I'm preparing the pictures for this. I don't think the lawn chairs kind of fit. That doesn't fit. So I'm getting rid of some of the possibilities. Cutting some out, right? The other thing you can do in the car while you're waiting, you can be coloring some of your coloring sheets, some of these flowers, if coloring is something you do. I am more likely to be painting these. I'll put a coat of gesso on them and then I will paint them. I'm not going to be coloring them. This, I like the swirl, so I'm really not going to cut this out, do fussy cutting for this, but I like the pattern and the design, so I might just copy that. I also might write myself a note, go through pictures again, look for stepping stones or rocks after I've read through some of the quotes. Another thing that you can do is audition for the backgrounds, because remember, in your art journal, in your quote, you have all these colored pages. So you have some of the pictures, and I'd start with the things that you know you're going to use, right? The things that have already matched with a quote, and I'm just going to, but not necessarily. On here, you'll note, now I'm not going to be able to find this, of course. Here, I put the butterfly right here on this page, and I tacked it on with that masking tape that I've put on the front of this plastic cover, because I think that goes really well together. So I had the one with the butterfly. We could just put this right in there, and we can say that that's done. And I'm going to just tack it onto the page. Then if I have some time, I might decide, oh, I'm going to do that. But let's just see. We're going to audition this butterfly onto some pages. Here I've gotten some stenciling done, and I might just match. Sometimes the font matches the picture. And I can just addition them together. But I'm more interested in seeing if I can put the river. There was a river one here. It's kind of ocean wavy, but you know what? I'm kind of liking that, so I am going to do this. Now you can do this as you're waiting. Will I necessarily use it? I don't know. I just had an idea, and what if we had this, find a way, kind of a map. So what I'm going to do here is add a Post-it note. So you're just taking your time and using it together. Too green, nope. As much as I like this boy here, let's take out this page and see how much I'd have to cut off and what it would look like. You know, I'm thinking that's going to not work for this. Ooh, I kind of like that. So I'm just going to put that right there. And I'm going to put that right there. And again, you'll notice that I am going pretty quickly. I'm not trying to overthink things here. I like the flow of that swirls pattern. I might build that up. I like that quote with that. And that's one that I matched from the last time. So it's just, you're giving yourself starting points. So, you know, I've got several pages here already that have kind of made themselves. Ooh, that might look nice too. You know what? I'm going to put another ballerina. I'm going to put on both of these pages because I'm uncertain, but it kind of depends. If I leave it white, I like this one. If I did this in black or did a silhouette, I might have that. Okay, let's find, ooh. That's a maybe. Oh, this one I have modeling paste, so maybe I can find. That quote might work. Well, it won't fit on the page. Maybe. You can just match it either to just to the background. It's a nice background, or that really brightens that page. Take notes of some of your inspirational ideas that you have. For instance, on this page I have, this reminds me of underwater or lily pads. Now, I don't know if there's ever going to be a quote that's going to fit with that. I have koi fish stencil. So I'm just going to put those ideas down, and that's just going to stay in the art journal. So this one, we have them together, and I might put down here collage map pieces onto plain background. And then colorize or texturize. So I'm just putting down little jot notes of things that, occur to me. And then I can just keep that at the back of the journal, and I can add to it at any time. I can go through the possibility pack of all the magazines and write notes if I get just flipping through them, because every time you look at it, you might get a little bit of a different idea. So an idea you had in the first go through might change, it might evolve, it might turn into something else. You might add another piece. You may be flipping, and think, oh, this stencil would go with that, and I would write that down. I would keep that there. So I could be sitting in the vehicle and, waiting for whatever. And I can say, okay, hummingbird, music paper, and, you know, what do I see happening here? I've got a stencil, music sheet stencil. I might put that in there. These are simply ideas, and if you don't use them on this page, you can use them on something else. So as I'm just, you know, flipping through some of what I have, and I just write notes to myself with as much detail as I want. So here with the dancer, I might put multiple dancers, do silhouette in black, add more swirls. I'm just giving myself more ideas. So grab your possibility packet, your art journal, your quick fire quote journal, your repurposed book, whatever you're working in. Pack it up with the items that I've suggested and take it on the go and get yourself ready to really maximize the time you're going to spend in the studio creating some art journal pages where you can sit down and in 15 minutes to half an hour have an art journal page, or even 2, done.